now for your sports news reviewed by NTD's Dave Martin. Dave, we have some tennis news, but let's start in the NFL as the Buffalo Bills have fired head coach Sean McDermott just 2 days after their playoff loss. What do you make of this?
I'm stunned. he was so successful. He went 98-50 in 9 seasons with Buffalo. They won 5 straight division titles from 2020 to 2024. Even though this season they didn't win the division this year, New England did, they still made the playoffs for the 7th straight season. Now, they lost to Denver Saturday, really a heartbreaker in overtime. Turnovers really doomed them in the end. He didn't actually make a Super Bowl, though, in that 9-year run. But I think between his firing and Baltimore getting rid of John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin, well, the fans were calling for his firing. He ended up resigning, though. You could call this kind of the Patrick Mahomes effect. Now, those 3 were very successful, 3 very successful AFC coaches. But Mahomes and the Chiefs have won this AFC 5 out of the last 6 years, resulting in 3 Super Bowl titles. So no one else has really been able to win here. This year, the Chiefs did not make the playoffs. The Bills were certainly hoping that it would be their year. So long story short, another successful coach is out of a job. And with Josh Allen there, this is going to be a very coveted head coaching position. I'd want to coach the guy.
Well, put your name in the hat.
Yeah, I would just tell him, go out and win, all right? Go out and just throw the ball, all right?
Well, there was a lot going on with that Bills versus Broncos game Saturday. Now, Buffalo came back and forced overtime but lost and fired their coach. Meanwhile, Denver's Bo Nix got injured and is out for the rest of the playoffs. Yeah, really, heartbreak for both teams in that game. Bills' postseason curse really continues with the loss, while the Broncos lost their most important player heading forward to injury. They're actually listed as underdogs next week against New England, even though this game is going to be in Denver at home. So let's actually listen to what both sides said after that Saturday game between the Bills and the Broncos.
It's extremely difficult. I feel like I let my teammates down tonight.
Your emotion?
Just missed opportunities throughout the game. It's been a long season. I hate how it ended, and it's going to stick with me for a long time. I haven't been doing a lot of talking other than I love my teammates, and I'm extremely sorry. I'm disappointed in how this ended.
Not good news. On the second to last play in overtime, Bo fractured a bone in his right ankle. He's scheduled to have surgery Tuesday of this week, which will put him out for the rest of the season. Steady's ready to go. And it was the second to last play before he threw the pass to Mims.
Now, if you were watching the game, you likely didn't notice Bo Nix's injury. I certainly didn't, but like he said there, it happened on the next to last play of the game. So next Sunday, Broncos versus the Patriots. One of those B teams. Broncos versus the Patriots in the AFC title game. In the NFC yesterday, the LA Rams pulled out a thrilling 20-17 win over the Bears in Chicago. They will face the Seahawks on Sunday for the NFC title. Seahawks blew out the 49ers 41-6. That was the least entertaining game of the weekend, I would say. It looked like it was over by halftime pretty much there. So.
And snow didn't play an effect anywhere?
Snow definitely played an effect. Plus, it was so cold there, but somehow the opposing team won. I figured, the Bears maybe were even more used to it, and they almost pulled it out. I got to say that the play by Caleb Williams to tie the game and force overtime with 18 seconds left when he ran back like 25 yards, threw it from almost midfield off his back foot, and somehow it was a strike to the end zone for that game-tying touchdown. That might be one of the best plays I've ever seen. He was backpedaling. He had 3 guys rushing him. I don't know how they all ran through the offensive line, but he was on the get-go. How he did that was incredible. It was not enough, though. So the Rams versus the Seahawks there for the NFC title game.
Well, half of the internet agrees with you. Impressive run. In some lighter news, though, shifting gears to tennis, Novak Djokovic won his opening round match yesterday at the Australian Open, his 100th win at that event.
Yeah, that ties in with Roger Federer for the most wins at the Australian Open all time. Now, interestingly, Djokovic has won over 100 matches at both Wimbledon and the French Open. Only has 95, though, at the U.S. Open. It should be noted that he wasn't allowed to play the U.S. Open and the Australian Open, both of them in 2022, because they required a COVID vaccine to enter the country. So maybe he'd have one or two more Grand Slam titles at this point had he been able to play. But he won yesterday against Pedro Martinez in straight sets. Now, he is not the favorite to win this event, though, of course. That is likely between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, the number one and number two player in the world. Those two have combined to win the last 8 Grand Slams. But you know, Djokovic at 38, he's the only player in the top 25 that's over the age of 29. I'm hoping to see him turn back the clock one more time. It would be kind of fun to see. So it's not very likely, though. I'll just say that.
All right, well, moving to college football, the national championship game is just minutes away. Now, Indiana is listed as 7.5-point favorites to beat Miami. Who's your pick, though?
My pick is Indiana as well. You know, I picked against Indiana in the last round, and they proved me way wrong. You know, that was against Oregon, or they already beat Oregon earlier in the season, so I thought maybe Oregon would want revenge. I was wrong. Indiana blew them out by an even bigger margin. It was a 56-22. And even the game before that, they blew out Alabama 38-3. Both wins really were jaw-dropping. They are 15-0 entering this game. Miami's still a very respectable 13-2. I don't think this win is going to be by a huge margin, though. This game is going to be played in the Orange Bowl, also known as Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, which is Miami's home stadium. I find it hard to believe that this was really an acceptable arrangement for the national title game. I mean, if you move this venue to the semifinals, at least you can possibly move Miami to one of those places if they got that far. But in any case, the game starts 7:30 Eastern Time, Tiff, and if I were the NCAA president, I would not allow this, even though I am a Miami fan. I think it's a little bit unfair to have, the games on their home field.
Is home turf that much of an advantage?
You know, it's probably a bigger advantage in basketball, because you got the crowd right on you. But it is an advantage. I mean, they're surely going to have way more fans there rooting for them than Indiana is going to have. But it's not as huge of an advantage, but it's still an advantage.
Well, maybe the boos are, more...
Well, historically, it just has not worked out like that. Teams generally do better at home. That's just the way it is.
You can add that to another list of rule changes.
If I were NCAA president, I think we can really have a whole show about all the changes that I would make if I were president. I don't know if anybody would want to watch that, but it would take up a whole entire show.
Well, now we know. We can fill our programming. But I do know that game's coming up. So, Dave, as always, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Tiff.